Yeah, how are you? I hope that you can see me clearly, and I think on Facebook I am half, but the good thing is not even to see me, but to see what I'm doing, because the reason why I blot this aloud on your way, because I do tell you that I'm a traveler, and on my traveling, I've noticed that there are things that I don't love at all, and I like talking the way I experience things. By the way, how are you? It's morning. It's here in the middle of Sweden. Is 8:40. Welcome on board. I've just sent my children to school and started cooking, and then I got a thought that I've been cooking, and most of the things that you watch me doing is baking. Like, we have never been having a cooking class, like when we are cooking food and the main menu. I always take you through some other baking and some other stuffs, and this is one of the things that I've observed during my traveling. You order, somebody come and bring you a menu and tell you, you have beef, you have chicken, you have fish. Fish, I have not experienced problem. Chicken, not too much, but I have problem with beefs. Most of these super chef, they call themselves super chef. They don't know how to cook meat. They want to cook you a beef. They want to cook. You order a meal, and they want to prepare that meal, which is supposed to be prepared with 2 hours. They want to prepare it within half an hour, and they think that meal, that beef, especially when it comes with the, here we separate between the steaks, which you fry, and the grill, and the one you cook with sauce. Here we call it grita. And that is the challenge that I face with so many chefs, because they want to prepare for you that grita, which is supposed to take like 2 hours. They want to prepare it for you with a half an hour, and you understand that meat is not eatable. You cannot chew. So most of the time, I choose not to eat beef outside Scandinavians, because in Scandinavians I can call back the chef and I tell them that this meat is hard. I have the right not to pay. I ordered this. I know my right. But in some nations, we just ignore. But in developed nations, I know how to react. The undeveloped nation is just a matter of paying, and this is the last thing I will eat for these things from here. And with me, so those who does not know my name is Helena, and my YouTube channel, which I do practice this natural gift, is Waboi86. That is WAMBUI, then 86. And I have another channel. I'm not only a gift exerciser. I am gifted with a gift of worship. So I am a worshiper. I have a worship side. So there are sometimes I don't cook, I blow tongues. So there are sometimes I don't cook, I am in the presence worshiping. So and I am a working class. I'm a career woman. I'm a mother of 2. The rest is history. Okay. So today I want us to prepare a beef. So Let me clean my hands. I wanted to clean my hands because here I have some beef that I have prepared. If you have been near people who have come from West, you realize that we don't like buying. You try to take us to the marketplace to buy meat, but we like buying meat at the supermarket. The reason why is because we don't buy meat from the butchery here. The butchery here, they pack meat and they bring them to the food shop where they bought, where they come from. Is if it's a Danish, which nations at least we eat meat allowed the Scandinavians and some developed nations. So, and they can write even which farm the meat come from, so that you know if you like eating Danish meats and you live in Norway, no problem. So it is up to you to choose. So with me here, this I've been cooking. I did not want to involve you because I know most of you, they know how to cook. What? Minced meat. I'm cooking minced meat here. Nowadays they have come with a minced meat which is mixed with vegetables. You buy meat which is mixed with vegetables, and I'm going to make a dish. That's why I have these full corn spaghettis. I tell you, what you hear me talking is what I do. Otherwise, I'd be a hypocrite. I tell you things that I don't do. So I'm going to prepare that minced meat. I've already cooked like an hour. So it is going to be, we are going to take it with these spaghettis. They are full corns, and then we are going to add a to have some vegetable. Remember, I told you that your plate should look like a clock. That the half of your clock should be filled with proteins, because that is what your body needs. Then the other quarter should be filled with carbohydrates, and the other quarter should be filled with vegetables. Then you have eaten a well-balanced diet, because what you are is what you eat. With me here, we have tendons here, like when you are making this grita, we have this cooking pot weigh like 10 to 15 kilos. So it's special for making special. Even this one, you can use it and put it in the oven. Be prepared to pay a good budget for those. That's why I don't recommend this kind of this kind of business in nations where electricity is good. So, but we have that chance that we can buy such because it's such kind of things that make this dish very on that will. Despite, remember, the quality of the meat that you buy matters. Despite you cannot buy a bad quality meat and then you cook it with this pot and you expect it to get a good result. Here there is one thing that we know, that if you want to cook this grita I'm telling you with meat, we know that this part of the cow, you know, this part before you come to the neck, that is where they cut that meat. So you know, like here on the thighs, when you want to grill the meat, that is the part of the meat that you should focus on. And it should not be an old cow because the more an old cow is when I want to do like grilling, or I want to put the meat on the oven, I prefer to buy meat from a young heifer, which is between 6 months and 1 year. We don't eat a lot of meat, because even this meat for us is not a one dish, it is like 2 dish, because we mind about the climate, but we also mind about the quality. So first of all, when I want to do this kind of dish, because like when you have small children, you realize when you buy hard meat and chewable meat, your children will be having problem to eat meat. And that's why you see most of the small children families, they tend to buy minced meat, chicken and fish. But the problem is not the children. The problem is the quality of the meat that you are buying. Because you want to buy meat from unprofessional. It's like the way here you can see some other shop from outside the nations. They are allowed to sell some meat stuffs, but I myself, I don't feel comfortable. I don't trust I don't trust the system. I'm used to Swedish system where they explain what is the kind of meat. Sometimes they tell you, they give you like when it's a meat that you're supposed to grill or to put it in the oven, they will tell you that this meat is supposed to be kept in this kind of temperature before you put it in the oven. You are being given the description on how to make your meal. But these things these meats and these food stuff that they cause description on how I should handle it, I have problem with it. Because I don't eat food because I'm hungry. I eat food because it's delicious and it's good. And that's what I want to deliver. And that's what I would love. That's why I don't eat outside, because most of the chefs, they have not reached they have not yet convinced me that they can make the meal that I enjoy. I prefer to spend more money buying quality food and making food in my home. So it is very rare we go out and make, because we have been disappointed. We go out and eat food, then it is as bad as we waste money. And nowadays, life have gone up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to read my stuff here. Then most of the people, when they are cooking, they are making meat. Thank you that I come up with the English word. When you are making beef stew, one mistake you make, you fry the meat. You use the oil, you fry the meat, and I think that is the mistake, especially in these undeveloped nations where somebody just opened a restaurant because it's a job. He wants to create a job. That one, it should not be there in 2025. Everybody should be. Nowadays we are living in a world where everyone should have education of what you are working, that you can be able to explain to me. That's why you see some people writing even some funny words of the meals, and they cannot tell you why it is called like that, because they are not qualified. If you are not qualified chef, you are supposed to work in the kitchen cleaning dishes or cleaning the floor. And a qualified person. And all these things, it starts with the gift. You realize that you are gifted with cooking. Then you develop an interest of, now I know that I can cook. But for me to be able to deliver more, I need to go to school, so that I know which part of chicken which is which, so that I know which part of beef I should use for what and what. Because sometimes you see me even buying a whole chicken, but I know where I can get the chicken breast. I know what I can do with the chicken legs. I know what I can do with the chicken bone. So, like for me to go further and open a hotel, it will not be a big deal, because I've gathered a lot of knowledge on how to do it. The moment you fry beef, when you want to make a beef stew, that is the first mistake. What you should do instead, you put your beef in a heavy, that's why you see this. I mind about what I buy. This is not just a cooking pot. This cooking pot, I mind what is from a Swedish company or a designer. Because I want to cook, because the lighter the plate, even the frying pan, when you buy this cheap frying pan, you cannot deliver the kind of food you want. The quality of the food matters with knives that you use, chopping boards. That is why if you really serious with food cooking, you have to invest both on the quality of the food and the quality of the kitchen utensils that you want to use. So the first thing that you should do when you are cooking beef is you get a very good cooking pot which is heavy. You put your beef there, then you add salt. After you have added some salt, you put a lid and you put your beef to cook. I've not added anything. You have seen that I've not added anything on my beef. And because I'm cooking, during this time around, we eat all that we have harvested. Like today we are eating mashed vegetables. And I don't know whether I should have used if you're a good cooker, you should have a water cooker. It's not all that good. Like when I want to add water in this beef, I add water direct from the water tap. It is good to make sure that the water that you add into your food is 100% boiled, to reduce or to kill germs. That is very important. Like here I have some smokies that are spicy that I want to make today, because I told you today we are eating very simple food, and I'm going to show you what we are eating. So even before, some people they like frying smokies, but here we are not used of frying smokies. We boil our smokies very, very, very much. These are chicken smokies. Because me, I don't eat pig. To somebody you can see that is a chicken smoky. I don't eat beef. Even if you cannot sell the language, you can Google. You can ask all. Those are chicken cookies. I And these are lamb cookies. I wanted to cook them and then I preserve them because their death their death is even afterlast, but they can hold some few days. That is why you see they have this lead label to tell you that you have to eat them very soon. And for me to be able to do that, I have to, before even we did not have these kind of cookies here. But because of so many of us who have shifted to these nations and they realize that we don't eat pig, they have to include us in their package. So with us here, we have some, as we wait for our beef. I told you that this is the season now we are eating what we have harvested. I have not grown pumpkin. This one I bought. I did not plant carrot this year. The weather was very challenging. Even I did not plant potatoes. But I hope next year I'll do it. The reason why I added the salt is the salt will help meat to drain water. So now my meat is having a lot of water. To add skimmed milk there. I think my measures are here. So I have to add 100 grams. I realized like nations like, I've mixed there. That one I think is gone. I realized like nations like where I've traveled, like where I come from Kenya, to buy this skimmed milk is very expensive. But I saw that you have this coconut powder. Even I came with some. That one is very good. You don't have to buy those skimmed milk. They are costing you millions. Use coconut. Is very healthy and very nutritious. Use coconut powder. It's very good to go. So don't be, because but one thing when it's applied to beef and coconut, chicken and coconut's very okay. But if you are cooking beef, I don't think that you have chance to use the coconut and beef. I've never counted them, but chicken very okay. But if you are making a beef stew and you don't have Thanks to my mom that she taught me how to peel things with a knife. So I don't struggle with this modern knife. But the bad thing is, if I can miss this knife, I know the kind of damage that I can do to myself. This is a risky business, so I do tell my children not to try this one because they are not used. But me, I've peeled with knives for 20 good years. So 20 good years, I think I have the certificate of that. So it's very good that sometimes you see me cooking, so that I want to teach people what I know, because sometimes it's very, I'm getting old. I'd love somebody to at least to take the knowledge. I do this one out of love, and I would love somebody to just to take this serious and to start, because even it will be very good when I'm traveling and I see people cooking food. Because my traveling is always be torture sometimes. Because me, I understand why I'm GP1, because I don't eat anyhow. I don't eat anyhow. My traveling is a torture because the food that I enjoy is only the food that I cook. That's why you see most of us like, sometimes it's not like you want to eat fast food, but it's the only food that people they can make. The real dishes. Most of the people, they don't know how to make. Like when you sleep in our hotel here, because we normally eat porridge. I've never been even in the nation where I grew up, and I be serve a breakfast with a porridge. Why is it not porridge included? Like, they have started some funny things with the smokies, and I don't know whether it's an American style, but I found it so strange. Because me, what makes me to sleep in a hotel, first is a good breakfast. Because breakfast is the meal that it give you energy. When you eat a good breakfast, you even not need to eat lunch. Do you know that most of the nations, most of the developed nation people, they don't eat lunch. You eat a good breakfast, then lunch you just like you people who live in tropical nations where the weather is good and you don't need to keep your, because we eat a lot during like winter to keep ourselves warm because it's very cold. But if I'm like in those nations, why should I eat even lunch? A good juice is good for me to go. That is why you find people, they are telling you they want to go down in weight. How can you go down in weight and you are eating like a buffalo, an elephant? How on earth? Because you are what you eat. You want to look like me, but you don't have control. You cannot say no to the food. You cannot say, you don't have even, even to have a discipline for what, say no to your stomach. Do you know even when you go to a dentist, they will tell you like, this small chewing all the time, it makes your food, it makes your teeth decay quickly. You should have a routine on what, not every time you have something you are chewing. You are like a cow, 24/7. You are chewing. What are you chewing? Then I'll add the beef cubes now. Chewing 24/7, that you are always chewing. It's not good for your teeth. Sometimes I'm so grateful that you know what attracted me really to this medical. It's when my mother developed a brain cancer. And then it was like, yeah, these career women, they study there. But nobody have the knowledge on anatomy. I just felt like I've never been so foolish. I found myself so foolish that because me, I'm not the kind of people who love to give myself. It's only God that I can say I give myself to you so that you can use me. But me, I'm not the kind of people that I love to release myself 100% to people. That is not me. If I don't have knowledge of something, I feel bad. I want to have knowledge of what. I don't undermine people because of their career. Yes, but I want to at least a bit to understand. You know, you can deal with the people and you see that, like those people who are nurses and doctors, you can meet a family, and even for you to explain to them what their relatives or what their husband or what their children are suffering from. They are not getting anything. They are not getting you at all. So you have to do a lot of work to try to bring these people to realization. And that is the kind of things that I like. I don't want those situations I fear. I want to understand. So when this hit me, I was like, now I've added water. I cover that meat. That meat is supposed to cook for allowed. Because it's even stated in the package that you cook it slowly and for a long time. So this is not the dish that you cook when you are going to work in the morning. This is the dish that you cook slowly. That meat will be there 2 hours. So even we will even finish these live setting and leave this meat cooking. So now I'm done with this minced meat, which are vegetables. I don't know whether I'm going to put a picture of it for you to see, but I appreciate too much that they have come with such ideas of meats that they have mixed with vegetables. You know, the way women we invest on good dresses and good handbags and all those stuffs. You know what women will invest on. It is the same way you should invest. Like when you are having your birthdays, when your husbands or your fiancé or whoever want to surprise you, don't just mention about Rusiruvito handbags. Huh? I realize there is a tribe, there is a certain group of people, and not only me, most of the people they have put the mark on those. Those people, they are always smart. Smart clothes, smart things. But their homes are wanting. Their homes are very wanting. And even most of the people who come from other nations, they try to show you that they are investing in their own nations. That is why they are living that kind of bushy life they are living, because they are investing on their nations. Then I wonder, the most of your time, like now our pension is going to 70 years. We have to work until we are 70 years. How many, after 70 years, you don't have a guarantee. The rest God give you if you are quite, if he's he is not obligated to give you other more years after 70 years. And then you are telling me that you are investing in your nation, that's why you live that kind of bushy life you live. I'll not get it. That's why you are not buying good, when I'm 70. Are you not? 70 years young today, they look like 50 years old. But if you don't enjoy life when you are young, do you know, I've seen how complicated people they become when they be. The more you grow old, the more like you don't even want to buy things. So if you did not enjoy your life when you are young, I think those kind of people, they should try to come into contact with the people who are of that age, and you ask them. I'm quite happy because I'm a researcher and I love asking people, and I love even asking people who are not of my age, because now I've been a youth, and I even love telling my children on how, now they are teenagers, I love telling them how I was when I was a teenager, because it's a new experience. They are in the new age, and they may think that I've never been there. They may think that these things, I may look odd and not getting it in their, according to their head. Is this woman really getting it? They may wonder. So I want to make them know that this is not a new thing, by the way. It was not so many years before I was there. I can still remember my teens age. So it's like, you are not surprising me, guys. Some years back, I was a teen like you. So it's not a new thing at all. So I told you that what I'm cooking for these cookies. We are eating these what do you call it? Mashed. We are going to mash. We are going to mash the butternut and the carrot. And because potatoes, they cook a little bit faster than the butternut and the carrot, what I am going to do, I am going to start frying the butternut and the carrot as I prepare the potatoes. I'm keeping my eyes on. I like using butter. These are vegetarians butter from Nori. You can see it have a Nori Anoshk flag here. So. What I'm going to do, I'm gonna get some garlic. I don't know whether I'm going to get those special. No, those ones are for the meat. The special baby onions. eaten some other beef stews, funny beef stews that taste a lot of tomatoes. I've been talking about taste balancing. Some people, they cook beef and with a lot of tomatoes, and then they don't know how to break the taste. You know, tomatoes by itself is sour. So if you cannot add a spice or some, if you realize that you have cook your dish with a lot of tomatoes and it's a little bit sour, if you remember, I've told you what to do, that you should use some honey to break that sourness. Otherwise, most of the people may not enjoy your dish, because by nature tomatoes are sour. So when you use tomatoes and you don't break that, it's like vinegars. When you go to some nations, I told you that I was in Spain. They can kill you with the vinegar. I don't know how. It's like the Italians with the lemons. They can kill you with those things because they are used to it. But I don't like they put salad. They put a lot of vinegars on the salad, and it's become extreme. If you are not used, I don't know. Maybe it's how they do it in that nation, but I found it uneatable, especially when you are introducing the vegetables to your children, and it's tasting. Maybe a vinegar can be very good to these people who love alcohol. If you are alcoholic, then I think you don't have problem with the vinegar, but putting a lot of vinegar to the children, you are discouraging your children from starting eating vegetables. And I've realized in my traveling, most of the Africans, they are very poor in eating vegetables. They are very poor in eating vegetables. Salad. Africans, they don't know how to eat salad. Except those who have never lived in, those who have not traveled. They like heavy meat. They like heavy food, even when the sun is 40 degrees. Surely. And then somebody is telling you that, oh, I'm struggling with the weight. I'm sweating. If you eat those heavy meat during the day, what are you expecting? And you are, by the look we can see you are, you know this, you know how Africans, we are blessed with the you know how Africans women, they are blessed with this part. Not most of us, that's why you see, when you are small like me, people, they tend to tell you that, this body look Europeans, this body look. But according to the way you have seen me cooking, I will not realize that I eat. I eat, but I eat with understanding. I don't eat fua, anyhow, anywhere, anytime. I have a discipline of eating, because even Even that discipline of eating is very much needed in the spiritual world. You cannot eat very for and you want to blow in tongues. You eat anyhow, you eat anybody food, you eat, you cannot blow in tongues, my friend. You want to blow in tongues and you eat anyhow, anywhere. Any person who will give you anything, you have no problem. You know, even there are people who are even mannerless that they share clothes. Even they have no problem, like you will find anybody, anyhow, in your bedroom. Even your very own sister. If you know some of your own sisters and your brothers and you know their behaviors, they should not even come near your bed. It is as private as it is. And that's why I tell people, don't tell me that you are visiting Sweden, you are expecting me to hold you. Especially, we may have grown in the same village, but I'm a very different person now. Because even I myself, I don't sleep anyhow. I traveled when I have access, when I have some good money for me. If you can ask my own sisters how many times they have removed me from hotels, and I know where they live. It's because I don't sleep fua. I don't eat anyhow. I have some discipline. Sometimes people may try to judge you, but you know, as the way in this world, in this cosmos we live, it have rules and regulation to follow. Even when you become a devil worshipper, not even a follower of Jesus Christ, let me tell you, even in devil worshiping, there are do and don't. If you think Jesus is complicated, join devil worshiping, you see. If you think Jesus is complicated, join devil worshiping, you see. There are do's and don'ts. There are do's and don'ts. So you realize even Jesus is more understanding, and he at least Jesus have mercy. If you think Jesus is complicated, try the for worshiper, you see. That's one I can tell you free of charge. If you think Jesus is complicated, join the for worshiper. You realize that Satan is more complicated, even you cannot handle. We need a reed. Then I think our cookies are ready. Then we are going to drain the water. Because we don't want to miss there, we have to put our focus on these dishes here. What I have a vegetarian's cubes here, 2 of them. You can use the vegetable cubes too, but today I'm going to use the vegetarian cubes. You can mash them if you want. Then I think I'm going to add another kind of salt today. Different kind of salt. They have different kind of minerals in them. These ones which look like stones. Look like stones. This salt is the one that I'm going to use. Because nowadays some people are trying to travel and to steal some ideas. It is not bad. That's why sometimes it's very good to travel. You gather some ideas, building ideas, decorating ideas. Oh! I'm very good that I had something to which pick these cookies, fat cookies. These ones from the they look like the lamp itself. They have no good color. So what I try to do is I try to minimize this frying. You know, now we are growing old. I and these fathers, my children father. So we have to, there is no need of me eating a lot of fat, then I go to a gastroscopy surgery. This one will be very foolish. That's why even I use that butter, because it's very thin. It's a vegetarian. It is made of lapis oil, shea, cocos oil, and mandar oil. It is free from palm oil and milk free. It's vegetable. Courtesy of Noria. Courtesy of Noria. So I'm so grateful that they could. My friend, if you see this house, tomorrow it will not be a good day. It will be a day where a day which I don't love, because this house didn't need cleaning. Even I'm planning on how I will invest money. I call this cleaning professional, because once in a while you have to clean your house from the roof. You know, this duster, this cleaning, most of the nations they do. I know West nations we don't do like that. Kupiga duster, cleaning, mopping the floor daily, especially the timber floor. it's not their business. And because some nations, they have these house girls, they don't understand. They just clean your floor, and that's why you see that even you can build a very good house. But when you employ a house girl who does not have, his job is just, and then I found it so awkward that hotels, they don't have a vacuum cleaner, and they have carpet. Even people, they are buying carpet in their home, and they have no, you wonder, and they have even not a vacuum cleaner. And then they are torturing the house girls with the mopping the floor every day. What are you mopping for? And the risk you are removing that mop is the risk. If you have super house and you don't have a vacuum cleaner, you are so very much behind. You can be able to build a house for 20 millions. You can buy a house for 20 millions. And then you cannot know that all those carpets that you want to have, even and these institutions like churches and offices, you are reducing cleaning by putting wall-to-wall carpet, and then it's like you don't have a carpet cleaner. Who will step on that? But you are quite safe because you don't have most of these nations. They are if you realize there is problem with the cleaning, you can call these people who deal with the cleaning, the environment department. They come and investigate, and everybody have the right to do that. If you observe that even the chemicals they are using, they are dangerous to people, you have the right to report. Because and there is one hotel, and because I'm going back there, I'm going to deal with those people, because they cannot be taking money for the hotels and the kind of carpet they are putting on the hotel. They cannot. If you don't have a vacuum cleaner, take it to the dryer daily, because those carpets are supposed to be vacuumed every time a person leave a room. It is supposed to be vacuumed, because do you know, you people, that we release our skin, they lose their, that is why it is seen very clearly when we become old that there are some skin particles that leave our bodies. And that's why even these small things that you hear that they are in our beds, they develop. You build a super house and even you don't have a vacuum cleaner. Me, I found that one very wicked. You want to build a hotel and you cannot afford a vacuum cleaner. I don't praise West nations, but some things we are ahead of the New York Times. We know what to do, how to do things, at least. Because there are people who are copying things, and they are copying things longly, very longly. Very longly. They want to live like West nations, but are you ready for that cost? You want to live a life which is good. Yes, we have no problem with that. But do things right. Do things right. Don't be the one that you want to build a super house, and then I saw another man importing. You're importing vacuum cleaners from West nations. And you know those vacuum cleaners, they need a vacuum cleaner's bag. And then you are selling to people. What are you expecting? If you are importing those vacuum cleaners, you need also to export papers. If it's like a Bosch vacuum cleaner, it have to have a Bosch vacuum cleaner vacuum cleaner paper that you put in that vacuum cleaner so that it can operate. And then it's like, there are so many things I've seen that I found that like people need to wake up and do things right. And if you are demanding to do things right, you may not have the knowledge, but gather the knowledge. Know where to get the knowledge from, so that we can have things right. I would enjoy to travel even in African nations, and I enjoy the kind of life I have in Scandinavia, because I can see you are building mega houses, mega streets, but something somewhere is lacking. There are some parts we need to do a bit of research, because we copy things and we copy wrong. Then we start blaming other nations. Like the other way, people, now I heard people, they are pointing too much on European nations, and every nation is independent to do what you want. But some African nations, they are always dependable. They have people, even the politicians who cannot think. They are following others, and they don't know the reason why those people, they are doing why those people are doing what they are doing. And then when they go astray, because somehow they lack knowledge to do, because nobody will give you the full information. They will try to educate you, but it is upon you to go and do research even before you practice those things. Are these things real? Are they applicable? If we are going to use this method in our nations, do we have the right knowledge? Do we have the qualified personnel? Do we have the capability? Do we have even the income? Do we have even the right people to handle this? Do we need to educate more people in order to gather? Do we need to gather more information? Yes, we are stealing this information from the West, but are we stealing? Do we have the right information? And did these people give us the correct information? Even before you steal ideas, do you weigh them and see whether those people are trying? Because some of the things people may try to when people sometimes they realize that you follow everything they do, they try to fool you, because they have realized that you are dead. You cannot even use your own brain. You are relying on them. Then those people may use you. The reason why I've removed this board from where it always be is because when I put it back like this, when it's cold, it's wet, you realize that it will develop some black spots to tell you that you put this board when it was not dry. It should be completely dry before you put it back here. So this wood chipping board, they are the best, but you have to know how to cater for them. That you clean them, and to some extent you have to oil them. The way when you buy, you have like the reason why I changed from wood table to a glass table, because I realized that when this wood it's become wood, it need a machine. I don't know, we call it slipping. You remove the dead wood, and then and then you have to oil. That is even why I bought the plastic one, the quality plastics for my outside, because these woods, you have to know how to handle them, on how to clean them, on how to oil them. The oil is there already in the shop. So for me to avoid all those kind of works, that's why I choose the glass table is also challenging, because you know, I have children, they come. That's why you see I always have some tablecloths on that table, because it's very challenging. You can see now all those dishes that is one challenge that you have after you are cooked. And I've not even picked the other dishes from there. So as we wait for this food to continue, I'm telling you, the meat is not even, the water at least, because this water has to be completely dry, gone, before this meat is ready. And I can see that we have already gone over 1 hour. So I want to leave you there. I tell you that it is, when you want to make a good beef, make sure that you boil that meat for a quite good time. Then when the water is completed, because when that beef is ready, you realize that the water that you have put, it will become thick, and that is the water that you are going to use as stew. So I hope that you have gotten knowledge and secrets on how, if you are going to eat on this beef, you are going to eat it for a long time, because it is until this, it is like, now it's 9 and I'm cooking this up to 12. So, but I think I've given you the basic description and recipe on how to make a delicious beef. You make beef stew, many people, they want to make a beef stew for you without minute. It is impossible, because before even you fry the beef, now after this, after I've gotten, and then after the water is dry and the stew is thick, then I can go on and if I want to fry the beef, I can fry. But if I don't want to fry the beef, we have some special onions that we use. I can pick a few. They are very round, they are like those. And those are the ones that I'm going to add to my beef. You can add the normal onion. Even you can put you can put me, I don't advocate tomatoes and beets. It does not go. If you realize, West nations, we eat tomatoes as salad. Paste tomatoes, we use them often when we are making lasagna, and we can use them even to make a stew. But remember the procedure. You have to break the sourness by adding either sugar, the brown sugar, or the baking sugar, to break the sour taste of the. But some people, they want even to bring you a beef stew with even you can see the skin of the onion. And then that beef tastes disgusting. Disgusting. I think before I put this video of issue on the Facebook, on the YouTube, I am going to put that last detail, which means that this stew will come, this beef stew video will come to Facebook tomorrow. To this beef stew will be on YouTube, my YouTube channel, Waboy86, tomorrow, with a complete and with the last details on how I'm going to complete my stew after boiling it for 2 hours. What is next? Bye for now, my Facebook friends. Make sure that you don't only watch this, you follow me tomorrow. I'll come with the last resort of my beef stew. The others, they were just by the way. You can see even before we mash our potatoes, we don't boil these ingredients. We fry them with oil, then you add water. Then you make sure every dish, the amount of water, you know the dish is ready when the water is completely gone. Don't try to make the mashed potatoes with water that it will follow you and you have to pour water on the sink. Then it means that you are not cooking right, because you should know the amount of the amount of water you are cooking. Some potatoes, and that's why you have to get knowledge to know which. Some potatoes, they take hard times. They take longer time, and those tomatoes that are not, because they will tell you these are they call it meoric, which means that they're easy to break. So even when they are cooking mashed potatoes, like there is red potatoes, those ones I will not, are they red? They are called red potatoes, but they are not red. They tend to be pinkish or light pinkish, or even it's not pink, because I think there is rose and rosa. But in English, I don't know whether they have difference between that or, but I know the difference in Swedish. So the kind of potatoes that the potatoes that you used to fry may not be the potatoes that you used to mash, and if it will be the same, no big deal. But you have to know how to cook them until they are completely mashed. They are completely, like now I know this dish is ready to mash when the water will be completely dry. And because you are mashing these potatoes, you are not even very careful about that they break. That is the good thing about the mashing potatoes or the mashing dishes, that you don't, the one that you serve when they are whole, you have to retain, especially for commercial purpose. If you are representing them to a customer, you have to be very careful that they don't break. But these ones for the mashing, they break, they don't break, you don't bother. So food cooking is a whole thing. So make sure that tomorrow you look at the result of my beef stew, because you have to know how to cook beef stew. Bye bye for now.